a veteran actor who has seen it all from the beginning of Nollywood till today. He has remained relevant. Mr. Keppy Ekweyon has done over 100 movies, done a lot of stage play, and recently he has, in the last few years, he has been very busy teaching young people acting. Mr. Keppy, welcome to Nollywood on Radio.
It's my pleasure to finally be here. I've been waiting for years to be part of this, and it's been a bit challenging. You know how it is, but really happy to finally be on the program. And I'd like to say congratulations. I've visited a couple of times in the past, and I've been quite excited about the quality of opinions that have been shared on the program. It's great to be here. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, now let's start straight. Let's shoot straight. You've been around for a while. I'd like to ask you, um, what do you think of the quality of the professionals that we have now compared to what we have before?
Well, the question means really taking a dive into the deep end. For those of us who started the productions in our NC days, we were groomed, particularly along particular lines like discipline. We encouraged that passion to grow, and then we went through, should I say, the sacrifice of walking long distances. I use that term to kind of express the challenges that we went through, and we, at the end of the day, realized the fulfillment and the completion of every project we embarked on. I cannot see the same for some of the players today. I mean, yesterday I was on set, for instance, and I was working with a young actor who's grown into some kind of expression. And because he wasn't happy with the female counterpart who was supposed to be playing against, he just didn't show up on set. He didn't show up on set. He didn't show up on set. Every actor knows that you are not the character. Every actor knows that if you have a problem with whoever you're playing against with, it's your characters that relate. So this speaks to the quality of some of the actors we have today. On the other hand, there are a few of them who I think I would always stuff my hat for. And if you allow me, I'll mention Nancy's name. I worked with Nancy a couple of years ago.
Please go ahead,
For
sir.
the very first time.
Please go ahead. Mention the name, sir.
Hello?
Please go ahead. Mention the name, sir.
I should do what?
Yes. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, good. So a couple of years ago, I worked with Nancy Isime for the first time. We were somewhere in Whistling Pounds in the Daggry. And the production, as usually, slept its overtime, and she had a commitment on the island. At around 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. and 9 p.m., against all our better judgment, because of her commitment, Nancy hired a boat from Badagry to Lucky Phase 1 because she had promised to be on set. And honestly speaking, that kind of dedication, that kind of integrity is the kind of integrity and dedication that we had in our time. So I think we could find some of the younger players who are totally, truly, honestly dedicated to the job, and we've had those ones who just come and they think they're showcasing themselves rather than giving exposing particular abilities. So I can't really come to the conclusion that they're very close to our generation. No,
Okay, sir.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for that. Recently, about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, you were awarded Best Supporting Actor at the Best of Nollywood Award. How does that make you feel? Because I know that you are not the type who is always in the face of the people with the advent of social media and all that. How does that make you feel that after many years you're being rewarded, for doing what you do and what you love doing?
Okay, so if I had to take it from your from the angle at which you approach your question, first and foremost, you know that I'm not very active on the social media. I also understood that the winners were decided by a college of judges. I don't know, some voting process. I don't know how the process went. I was equally shocked, and I was excited, and I was another fulfilling moment. You know what I mean? It didn't, what should I say? It was elevating a moment. It was exciting a moment. But it did not put me above my mates. And when I talk about my mates here, I talk about all the other nominees who were. I did not talk about all the other nominees who I was nominated along with as being less entitled. I just feel that, well, it's on my way by the grace of God, and I was lucky enough to enjoy it. You know, and that's basically what I think most actors feel. We don't feel any sense of entitlement, or I don't know how it goes, but I feel I just felt happy that it's flowing in my direction. I mean, I appreciate all the other boys who I was nominated along with, and for me, we've all shared in the joy of my victory.
Okay, now
You know,
I want to ask you. These days, when producers are casting, they look at the numbers of, apart from your acting skills, they look at your followership because they are thinking of how to market or sell the movie. What is the reason why you decided that you don't want to be on social media and why you are not active on social media?
well, you know, for me, I think what should happen. I had this conversation with a young producer yesterday who shared this opinion that the craft matters. I think you grow competence, you know, you grow professionalism, rather because right now you can't judge a person's visibility based on the numbers of followers. Those things are, but majority of the people are paying so much to get numbers, so we're not even too sure if those numbers truly reflect the numbers of people. In all reality, people are beginning to invest heavily on growing numbers instead of improving their craft. I think the best thing to do for them is to get better with every job. You know, so I don't know. I mean, it's also the business of show, so lots of people are thinking of investing so much and hoping to get so much more back. So I wouldn't blame them if they look at those that as a shortcut towards deciding how visible the project at the end of the day would be if they employ particular people. But I wouldn't do that on jobs that I sit on the driver's seat. You know, I probably would look for people who can deliver the character rather than the numbers they supposedly have. You know.
Has this affected you in any way?
Has it affected me? No, I don't think so.
Oh,
It hasn't affected me in any way. So far this year, I have done a lot more jobs in 1 year than I have done in my entire life.
no, I want to before Bayron because I see
So
that Bayron.
it hasn't, what I'm saying is it hasn't affected me
Okay,
in any way.
I know Bayron has some questions to ask you, but before I forget what I want to ask you, I see that you get a lot of military roles. At least I think
Well,
I've watched about three. I saw one that came out this year, one very nice one that was talking about mental health. I've seen that you've done one for Paul Papel too.
yeah, for the chief of army staff that was directed by Patel, yeah. So those jobs, I kind of like the regimentation that the military portrays. Somehow it reminds me of our profession, you know, the amount of discipline and all of that. Unfortunately, there's like, or maybe should I say, fortunately, our profession offers more versatility. But I seem to like the military portrayals, maybe because somehow I was groomed along those lines. My father was in the army. My father was a military doctor, and I was born while he was in service, and I grew, you know, and I enjoyed exposure to military tradition. So I somehow, every time I'm part of any military job, I kind of remember my old man, and I smile, you know. Yeah, so maybe that's why. And if you give me another military job to do, I would do it because every time I do that, I smile. I remember my old man. I remember perhaps a few things he mentioned, like I kind of relieve some of the stories when I go through some of the jobs I took. You know, maybe that's why. You know, I think so. I think that's exactly why. Come to think of it, that's why.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you very much for that. So I mean, over the years, you've acted and you've literally seen it all, so to say. You've seen the best sets. You've seen some of the best scripts. You've acted in some of the best films. You've mingled and acted alongside some of the best, if not all the best, on the Nigerian entertainment scene, basically the film world. Is there anything that determines the script you reject? Because I know you are a strict personality. Is there anything that determines the script you reject and the script you accept?
Oh, well, sometimes, I don't know, I think it's, I ended up at some point with a very nasty reputation because I always read through stories and I make some suggestions, which I think would help the story get along. Some people hate it when you begin to criticize the story, or, sometimes the stories do not end up right, and sometimes the stories and the characters they offer you to participate in has no real relevance in the story, so you turn down some scripts. Sometimes when the story does not turn out well, you turn down those stories. Sometimes, sometimes when you think about who you're working with, sometimes you just think that you just know that there might be challenges on set. I started out on this particular project I'm working on. It was supposed to be smooth and easy until this actor decides not to like his fellow actor. So sometimes when you begin to wonder, you just see into the future and say there might be a challenge in a particular story and it's safer for you to avoid it. So you avoid those, avoid participation diplomatically because, we try not to break relationships. We try to help people of the I can't believe this is what we do now. So yes, maybe sometimes. So yes, too many times I've had to walk away from some offers because I don't think it pans out as.
Okay, thank you for that.
For me, every story throws a challenge. Every story throws an opportunity. You know what I mean? And then sometimes, for 40 years ago, I probably would have been more adventurous. But this is like 40 years after. I'm getting older. Particular conditions have to be met. You know what I mean? I can't be shopping. So I need to understand that the welfare has also been factored into every production. The kind of food, times of eating, and all of that, most important for people my age. You know what I mean? So we just don't wait to be remembered because we decided to work. So we need to be very, very careful, and those things also help us decide whether or not we should be back so well. Some people who want to shoot a movie in 4 days and they'll just want to keep you with work, and they'll forget that it's not possible. We need to work, rest, sleep, and eat, and take a bath. But they probably want to do like 30 scenes in 1 day, and I think we don't plan that down.
Okay, sir. Thank you for that. I'd like to take you back to some of your roles that had to do with military personnel, and you explained that.
Can you please say that again? Some of the roles
that you had done that had to do with that had to be you depict a military personnel.
Military personnel.
Yes. So I want to find out. Don't you at any point feel, considering some of our producers and some of our directors, you might be stereotyped into those roles?
You see, I don't know. I'm not too sure if I heard you correctly, but I'll try and answer what I think I heard. With the military, there's a tradition, all right, and there's a tradition which cuts across the various arms of the armed forces. But the characters that we portray are different. You said you liked the last role we did on Amazon that dealt with mental health issues. So that is one. It had nothing to do with fighting in the war front. It had the story centered around how an officer managed to contend with losing his men out there in the battlefront, and then how he managed to find a balance at home, or how he did not fit into that position. The story trajectories are different. So there's no stereotyping. What you might see as being stereotypical is the costumes. But when it comes to acting, the character portrayals are different. So is that the question you asked?
Yes, you did.
Now,
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say now, because the military offers or houses all the professionals. They have lawyers, they have doctors, they have engineers, and they have I don't know, they have lots of them. They even have musicians. So in their presentation, you need to build the character.
now,
You have to build the character of whoever it is that portrays, and it can't be the same. It can't possibly be the same. What can be the same is the uniform.
okay. Now, as we are rounding up, we have 2 or 3 more questions to ask you. The first one I want to ask: at the last Born Awards, Kanayo, after he won the after he was given the special recognition award, in his speech, I remember very well what he said. He said that we should remember some that he is lucky, and a few of you are lucky that you are still working and you are still agile, and that, but a lot of their his colleagues, which if he says his colleague, it means that your colleague, because I know that you are of the same generation, are not working and are sick in different places and need help. What are your views on it, and how do you think that Nollywood can actually help those people leading into the new year?
When you asked me why I turned down some scripts, I also explained that I had particular conditions that I needed satisfied. One would require would be my time. How long would I have to work for? So at a particular age, and for our generation, most of us are above 60, or 60 and above, or very late 50s and above. And the tendency is at that age, we contend with high blood pressure issues or diabetes and so on and so forth. And sometimes some actors just decide to work because they have no choice. So sometimes they offer you very, very, very little and you walk. And you find yourself walking back to back because it's so little to satisfy, your expenditure, that you have to keep walking. And at the end of the day, the amount of investment you put in exhausts you, and then you break down. So we have a lot of our colleagues who are ill. A lot of them are ill. A lot of them are totally exhausted. That's the word. A lot of them would have loved to work more, but because of health conditions, it can no longer function as they used to, and there's really nothing in place for the actor wholesomely, individually. Yes, I'd like to, at this point, mention Mary Jacob. She's such a lovely child, lovely girl. May God bless her. She is paying premium health insurance for over 100 artists. I know, and I know that some other people are benefiting from some people's benevolence, but it's not an industry thing. You have to think about yourself now. We have to be able to say to ourselves, come on, Keppy, it's time to rest. Or you should know when to rest. We should know when to sleep. We should know when to take our medication. We should know when to walk away from particular jobs. But we can't. I don't know how it is. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly speaking, my brother, I don't know what propels us to work on every job, and most of those jobs kill us. So going forward, I just think the first advice is for all actors and professionals generally to be selfish. We should look inwards and begin to think about our health first. We should all begin to do. We can afford to at least take out health insurances, or somehow something. We need to do something for ourselves first. And usually, funny enough, it's not so expensive. It's not even as expensive as we think. Until you're part of it, you wouldn't really know. So a lot of us, we enjoy being pampered. A lot of us expect too much. I think we should invest in ourselves some more. So whatever it is they give you, put a little aside for your health. Because if you go that's it, there's no second opportunity to live your life again. So I think we should all be very selfish about
Okay.
our health. So henceforth, I pray to God that our colleagues who are listening in on this program, I say that I'm praying to God that we all begin to be really selfish about our health. So we should dare to speak out sometimes. Some of our colleagues are ill, and they're too ashamed to mention the fact that they're ill, so they die. So there are two things we should do. We should be conscious about health, and we should talk about it more regularly. Yeah.
Okay, now my next question is this. I'm sure that in between the last 3, 4 decades, you probably would have done over 100, 200 movies. And some of them I can remember. One of your most outstanding movie that comes to my mind whenever I see you, I might not tell you all the time, is Not My Will. And Not My Will is Not My Will.
Not my will, not my will. I can't remember that one readily, but go ahead.
It was produced by Fidelis Duca, directed by Fidelis Duca.
Oh, yeah. Okay, see, that's why I couldn't remember. It was many, many, many years ago.
Yeah, I still remember the premiere just like yesterday. It was held at the Museum Center that time.
And I also think you gave me an award on that one, did you?
Yes, I think we did there.
Yeah, I think we won an award on that one. I also won an award on that one, yeah. So,
Yeah.
what's the question, my brother?
My question is, over the years with all those movies, tell me which there should be some movie that whenever you remember yourself as an actor, you remember those movies and you just laugh.
All right, so many times I've had to reflect and I've thought about this particular question. Many, many times I played it over my head and I said to myself, which movie would I say was most challenging? And I'll say it was Raging Storm, somewhere in 1998, produced by Francis Onwuche, directed by Tade Ogidon, where I played the character Olofi. And it was most challenging because
I remember that too, Raging Storm, right?
you remember it, yes. So that was, I think, in 1998 it was. So for me, it was most challenging because of what Tade wanted the character to portray. It wasn't, it was like, I had to deliver my lines with no expression from the beginning to the end. When I was in love, when I was in pain, when I was in hate, I had to remain, I just had to be blank, totally devoid of every expression in any way to capture any or reflect the emotion. So for me, I always remembered it, and I remember it all the more because back in the day, we went all the way to Ekpe to film, and we filmed in Adibwale's house. It was a mansion back in the day, and Tade locked me up in the room, and I had all my rehearsals from Tade until I got to the point where he thought it was good enough for us to film, and this was over 4 days. So I remember that Tade was very particular about the character's presentation. He took my science wholesomely into it, and he wanted particular expressions to tie into his vision, and that's what happened. That's how we managed to achieve that.
Okay.
It's been so long, but I never forget it.
Thank you so much. But before you leave, tell us what are you looking up to 2025? What should the lovers of Keppy look up to seeing after how well the weekend was received? What are the things that we should look up to in 2025?
You know what I'm going to do? Let me tell you. I just want to encourage everybody who has encouraged me to know that they've been betting on the right horse. I'm not going to let it down. I already have scripts lined up all the way till June. I don't know which of them I don't know which of the scripts I would eventually work on. I don't know which ones will pan out as well as intended. But trust me, I just pray that we all have life, good health, and I promise you, I can't you will not fail you. Will not fall from the expectations. I'll be very good at
Thank
you guys encouraging us very hard.
Thank you very much, Uncle Keppy, for coming on.
Thank you, sir.
We hope that one day, very soon, we'll drag you to the studio physically this time around. Thank you so much.
Drag you to the studio physically this time around.
Thank you so much.
My problem is, honestly, I'm feeling like I'm at an event, I have to hold into the room. That's why I sound a little bit tired. But honestly, I wish we could have a sit down, and then I wish we could have.
All right. No problem. We will have it.
My pleasure.
All right.
Thank you for having me, my brother.
All right,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we round up, Baron has something to tell our listeners.
All right, listeners, here's something big coming your way. Have you heard about Olani TV? It's the new game changer for African filmmakers and viewers, and it's launching on February 25th, 2025. For all producers out there, get ready to earn double what you are currently making with your content. Olani TV offers multiple compensation plans, upfront fees, bonuses for views, lifetime revenue from subscriptions, and even rewards for high ratings. This is your chance to turn your creativity into consistent earnings. And for the viewers, you're in for a treat. Olani TV is giving you more entertainment content at a lower cost with authentic African stories you won't find anywhere else. The first 50 subscribers even get 6 months free. So mark your calendars now. Producers, start submitting your content, and viewers, get ready for entertainment revolution. For more information, visit www.olanitv.com or email info@olanitv.com. Olani TV spelled OLANIITV. Olani TV, your stories, your stage, your success.
Well, I'm looking forward to Olani TV streaming from February. It's been a very interesting edition from the interesting conversation from the news and from talking to Uncle Keppy. It's always a pleasure speaking to him. He knows Nollywood like the palm of his hands, and he's always very blunt with his opinion. As you go this weekend and prepare for Christmas, remember this is the Nollywood session. Seven Doors is still opening on Netflix, and you have to enter the 7 doors because
subscribers have kept opening the doors.
If you have not opened the 7th door, you have not seen anything in Hollywood this year. Everybody loves Jennifer. He's breaking all records. He already has 206 million, and that's the highest ever weekend release in Nollywood. And I'm expecting that by next week, I won't be shocked if they announce it sooner because it's opening in 33 countries tomorrow. Already the UK release, it was supposed to just be 2 venues, but by yesterday they have 8 now. They have
sold out.
Manchester, they have Birmingham, they have so it is going to be very, very interesting to see the figures that will come from Funke. Alakada Bad and Bougie. I was at the premiere on Sunday, and somebody asked for my opinion. I said, for me, I was waiting because it was like a test for Toyin, and I can tell you that is the best movie that Toyin has made so far. AY's Water, beautiful. The premiere was beautiful. The movie is beautiful. It also opens today, so go see it. Remember to also see Biodun TV's Roasties and Ivy on Prime, and also tomorrow Jadi Sona's movie Christmas in Lagos will also drop. So it's a very interesting. If you want to have a quiet Christmas, Nollywood has helped you to have it. Till next week, where we come with another special guest and we tell you the updates on Nollywood. Keep watching Nollywood movies. It pays to do so. Thank you, Baron. Thank you, Yinka. We shall be back next week to do it again.
Thank you.